Winning cures everything. Now for your hosts, Gary and Chris.
Welcome in, Winning Cures Everything. It is Wednesday, September the 30th. I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
And you guys know what Wednesday is. That is NFL previews, picks, predictions, all that kind of mess day. And we are stoked about it. We got a good week of games coming up. We have not talked yet about the Monday night game, but we'll do that before we kick things off, of course, just to kind of rehash exactly what in the hell happened to the Ravens. But before we do any of that, do us a favor, like the video, share it out, all that good stuff. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Go over to winningcureseverything.com. That's got all of our previews, picks, podcasts, videos, social media platforms, etc. Terry jumps in already. GD Cubs lost. I'm pissed. This better be a good show. Birdie said,
"You're in for disappointment, Terry. It's gonna be a disaster."
Birdie said, "Hello, Gary and Chris. Hope you and your families are well." Hey, we appreciate that. We hope your family is well as well. So, hopefully everybody's having a decent day. Braves fans are pretty happy. They got a playoff win. Matt jumps in. He said, "What's up? What is up?" So, if you want to jump into the conversation, you can do so as well. Any of the different platforms that are out there, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, Twitch. Just jump in right there, and in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you will see a little chat box that populates all of those different platforms as chat sessions or whatever. Birdie said his family's a pain in the ass. Hey, it's only Wednesday, man. It's only Wednesday. We got 2 more days to go. That's it.
I feel you, Birdie. Stay strong.
Man, everybody coming in fired up today. All right. Hey, that means it's going to be a good show, in my opinion. If you want to get our college football content, you can do that over at sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. Chris's and my predictions, whatever, went up yesterday on the channel, and we will have our articles up tomorrow. So make sure that you, so long as Chris remembers to turn it in.
I am not a writer.
We did our show. We did our show yesterday. We do the show well. The writing, maybe not so much.
Oh,
but
the writing is a disaster.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
It is an unmitigated disaster.
It's a lot of work, man. I'm still working on mine. I'll have it done about an hour after the show today. But, whew, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And all we're doing is writing one a week. I mean, good gracious. So, Birdie said, "Gary, I tried to get you off the Ravens, my brother." Yeah, no, he's right. He's right. Terry said, "It's my Friday today, at least off until Sunday." That's good. Except that Sunday is when, most of the NFL stuff is rolling. But we will get there. We will get there. No worries at all. Again, the SBR stuff, if you want our college football content, go over to sbrpicks.com/NCAAF, or you can make sure that you are subscribed to their channel over at Sportsbook Review on YouTube. Very simple to find. You can actually search for SBR Picks. It'll pop right up for you. So we do a show on Tuesdays, on Saturdays, and we've got an opening line show on Mondays. And we'll toss out some other stuff here and there. But those are the 3 main shows every week. We've already got the opening line show. We've already got the pick show up. And then, of course, Saturday morning, if you want to jump in with us, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we will be discussing the closing line. So, Chris, let's go ahead and let's talk about what happened on Monday night.
Sure, come on.
I was convinced that we were going to have a Ravens, not bloodbath, but a convincing Ravens win. And I was completely off on that. What, am I just nuts for thinking? Like, obviously, I understand now, right? Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. And that team, while all of the parts individually are not the best parts, so long as you've got the best quarterback and those other parts are cohesive and have a great chemistry, that is the best team in football, right?
I think that's the best team in football. I agree with that. Here's the issue. The Ravens just didn't come to play. And it's just that simple.
I mean, they definitely looked.
They did not come to play.
Yeah.
They gave Lamar no help whatsoever. Receivers dropping balls all day long. His security blanket, Mark Andrews, less than useless, actively harmful, dropping passes, hitting him in the face, in the end zone. You just can't have that and compete. You can't make that kind of sloppy mistakes and compete with the Chiefs. There's no reason that they shouldn't have been in that game from start to finish all the way through. And he just got no help. He was out there doing it by himself. The run game just couldn't get going. And it was just the Chiefs has done a great job defensively this year.
I will tell you this before you go further. It's not just on everybody else's side from Lamar Jackson. He was pressing and he was off on a lot of those throws. Like, not the ones, there were several that hit guys right dead in the hands, but there were a lot that were behind receivers that were just off time. Like, it was a lot of crazy. There was a lot that went into that game. They were typically, so I was also on the over. I got a missed field goal, a missed extra point, and typically when you've got a game that you get a kickoff return in, normally those go over. Like, what the hell are we doing here? But the Ravens only scored 13 points on offense against the Chiefs. And this is not supposed to be some world-beating Chiefs defense. I wonder if maybe they pressed so much and the game was so important to them that they took themselves completely out of it. Is that possible?
No. I just think they weren't ready to play. They just came not ready to play. That's all. They just got caught.
What a disaster. That was supposed to be or was billed as maybe the game of the year. And sometimes
future
those things,
AFC Championship game, but
sometimes those games end up a
it
dud.
Still could be.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it could. Tim Crosby jumps in, said, my son Dylan says, hello, fellas. Hey, good to have you joining us, Dylan, of course. Bertie said, Chris, we have to have a heart-to-heart about the Steelers. I think your take on them is off, but we will get there. Hey, I'll tell you this.
I'm not wrong. Their opponents are 0-9 right now. I'm not wrong.
Well, we thought we might be able to see them against another maybe fraudulent team this weekend, and that one's been postponed. We can go ahead and discuss that.
We're going to see it, right? They just said they're not going to play it Sunday.
They're not going to play it Sunday, but they have it, so they're still waiting on tests. We will know maybe tomorrow.
They said by Saturday they'll tell us if they're going to play Monday or Tuesday.
And that's the thing, because they may not play it either Monday or Tuesday, depending upon all the other stuff that happens. So we're in wait and see mode. So we don't know if we're gonna actually have a game or not. But that was going to be one of the more interesting games this weekend. I mean, you got 2 3-0 teams, 2 pretty good run games. All that kind of these were interesting teams, at least to see what the hell was going to happen. But it's what it is. Terry said, "I need you to wear that Cubs hat. Try to get some luck." Terry, what time do they play tomorrow? Because I'll toss it on. We'll see. We'll see what goes on. Tyrone Davis said Ravens suck. Matt said if the Chiefs go undefeated, does the record count with all the COVID stuff? I think maybe it counts double. You feel that way?
I don't think it counts double. No one's going undefeated. This is not college football, guys. It's just not.
It's not going to happen. Birdie said that's why the Ravens can't win that game. They try to do more than they should, when in reality, just do what you do best. Maybe so. Maybe you just push a little too much. McKinnon said you definitely saw the difference between him and Pat under pressure in the pocket. Let's see. Terry said they said Monday earlier. He said the game is at 1:08. Okay. Well, I will have the hat ready to roll. No worries. So, yeah, Ravens did not look good. Matt said they were risking their lives. For anybody that has not been around for a long time, you may not get that, but hey, you're right. All right. We've got several people in here. Of course, if everybody would do us a favor, if you're on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed on whatever platform, and share the show out. Tell your friends about it. Get some more people in here. We like to have a damn good time, and we are going to do that starting right now. Chris, let's go ahead and jump into the previews for NFL Week number 4. Thursday night is about the biggest dud of a matchup that you could possibly have. We have had exciting games. We had the battle for Florida. We had the battle for Ohio. And then the first week it was Kansas City and the Texans, who we thought were going to be all right, but you at least had Watson against Mahomes, things like that. You've got a beat-up-ass Denver team going to the Jets, who are less than worthless. And of course, this is a pick'em at this point. I am Matt said Thursday is the presidential debate part 2.
Yeah, it could very well be just as big of a shit show as last night.
It could be 2 old men yelling at each other.
Yeah. That's right.
You got thoughts about this because it is the national game.
I have no thoughts outside of the fact that this might. So I'm an NFL truther. You know that. Yeah. If there's a game on, I've never not watched it. Okay. There's never been a situation. I have a family member that's a pretty distant family member. Stepsister's daughter. Don't know what that makes it to me. Is having a surprise birthday. I'm not giving anything away because nobody in my family has ever listened to this show in my life.
We're so glad to have the support.
I know, right? I don't know what I would do if people actually supported me.
Got it.
I'm thinking about going to the surprise party.
That's not a terrible idea. I don't think you're going to be missing anything.
Well, I know I'm not going to. Here's the thing. I am going to miss something. Something incredibly laughable is going to happen in this game.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to regret not seeing it live and having an opinion on it immediately. And that's where I'm struggling. I love this league. I support this league. It's got its problems. It's got its flaws, but this is the best sport league in the world. Okay. There's a reason that every year you have at least one team go from worst to first in the division. There's a reason that 16 teams make the playoffs, half of the league, and every year, 8 of those 16, half of the playoff teams turn over. That doesn't happen in any other sport. Outside of the Patriots, not one other team has made it to 2 Super Bowls in 20 years. Okay. That it just doesn't happen. I love everything about this sport. I like supporting it. I don't know how much of this game I can watch.
Matt jumped in and said, watch this be the game that both teams score 70 points, 4 safeties, 2 kickoff returns, a hook and ladder touchdown, and Andrew Luck comes out of retirement. They both need Andrew Luck in maybe the worst possible way.
I don't know that Andrew Luck could save the Jets.
No, I think the Jets have way more issues than just that. I
agree.
I think there are major problems there. But, Birdie said, we bet the Jets money line before it moved. We got it at plus 130. I don't know what the money line is right now.
I'm going to bet it's close to minus 110 both ways.
Yeah, I think it's 110. Yeah, I mean, it's minus, Heritage has got it 105. Bet online 105.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you this, since we're doing picks on every game. I got the Jets in this one because I want Adam Gase to win so that you can get Dan Quinn fired first.
I swear to God, the Jets lose this game in a disastrous way, and Adam Gase gets fired, and then we have to wait until Monday night for the Falcons to lose and Dan Quinn to get fired. I'm going to be furious. I'm going to be furious that it's a scheduling snafu that takes me out and not the most deserving person loses taking me out.
Yeah. For
I
anybody
can handle being a loser. I lose a lot. That's fine. If you're going to play this game, you got to be okay with losing. I don't like the idea that I lose only because one game was played 3 days before the other.
Yes, I agree. For anybody that is listening or watching the show that hasn't kept up with us for a long time, back in the offseason, Chris got a ticket at plus 1,000 for Dan Quinn to be fired first. So before Matt Patricia.
My logic was solid. My logic was great. Yes. I thought the Lions were going to be too good for Patricia to get fired. The win last week really, really helped that. He is not getting fired before these other bastards. I thought Adam Gase was too close to the GM since he made the GM here, and I thought they're probably going to fire him, but maybe not until the end of the year. And I just thought if there was anybody that was close to getting fired last year and pulled himself out of the depths of hell, it was Quinn. And I thought, I don't think this team's any better this year. I kind of think they're worse. And so I love the odds there. I thought this guy's the guy getting canned. They're going to start off terrible again, and he's not making it past week 4. I can't believe after the Dallas debacle, he made it out of that game, out of week 2.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're
and then last week against the Bears, to let the Bears come back from down 2 scores?
Oh, just disaster. Just disaster. At home. I mean, that's even worse. Even worse. Joseph Gomez said parity in the other divisions, but when you get to play the Jets, Giants, and Washington twice every year, it helps. Bertie said he said, yeah, minus 110. And Damian Estrada said God couldn't even help the Jets. Like, it's probably true. Probably true. Moving on, let's move to Sunday, and we are going to move into the Colts at the Bears. Talking about those same Bears, 3-0. The Colts, 2-1, have looked significantly better since the opening loss to the Jaguars. Phillip Rivers seems to be moving along just fine. That defense is tops in the NFL as far as efficiency and everything else goes. I mean, they are really playing well. Now, it helps that they have played some absolute crap teams, but I mean, efficiency numbers are efficiency numbers. Joseph said the Johnson family is pretty cheap. Don't be surprised if Gase stays for a little while longer. Maybe so. Maybe so. The Bears have moved on to Nick Foles. It might be the end of the road for Mitchell Trubisky at Chicago. I kind of like the Bears in this spot. Everybody loves the Colts, right? And their defense has played outstanding. I kind of like the Bears. I'm going to roll with the Bears in this one. They're playing at home. Again, doesn't make a humongous difference, but I'm going to keep saying it because they are at home. But I like them more so than the Colts right now. I think the Colts and all of their efficiency numbers and whatnot have to do with the schedule. And while Chicago hasn't exactly played the best of the best, I do think that they will be able to throw on this team. I do think this team will be re-energized with Nick Foles in there. All of his weapons, all those wide receivers, etc. I like the Bears, and I think they're going to win the game outright.
Yeah, I think I do too. You get a home dog catching points. I know home field advantage isn't the same right now, but I don't know that I believe in this Colts team, and I think this Bears defense is going to play a lot better. They finally have somebody that they can get behind and rally behind on offense. They finally have somebody who they believe can carry the weight of the offense and not put all the burden on them, which is going to give them a little bit more freedom to pin their ears back, play a little bit more aggressive on defense. While I like the Colts team a lot, I still like them a whole lot. I like Frank Wright, what they're doing. Listen, this offense is very much a run-heavy offense. Now, they're a run-heavy offense because the offensive line is exceptional. It's great. It's the best in the league. I want to see this offensive line against this Bears front seven. I want to see can Khalil Mack, can Roquan Smith get off of these guys and make some plays and stuff to run and make Phillip beat them. Because I'll tell you this, if you put the ball in Phil's hands, he's not beating you. Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think that Bears defense, if they're able to get any kind of pressure whatsoever, we're going to see interception Phil again. Yep, I agree.
Bertie said, just do it on camera, Gary. Who cares? No, I had to move my dog. My dog has started deciding to sit under my desk, and it really gets in my way. Joseph Gomez said, if Foles didn't lead the team back, where would the number really be? I like it a whole lot better if it was +4. I like it at any number plus right now because I think the Bears are going to win the game.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's fine. I would love it at +4 because that means the money line would be bigger. But
and 100%. That is true. I mean, if they don't come back and win that game, then this line is easily 2 points the other way.
Yeah. Terry said, damn well should be the end for Mitch. Yeah. Well, I think everybody kind of thought that beforehand. Like, do you think Mitch really won that job coming out of camp, or did they?
I think it was a close enough race to where Ryan Pace said, "I'm attached to this guy." So his success is my success. If Foles doesn't come in and overwhelmingly win the battle, then Mitch gets it.
Damian said, Pagano is the worst defensive coordinator. I wish he wasn't in Chicago. I don't think they've been that bad. Maybe I'm wrong.
They haven't been great on defense, but like I said, the defense has all the pressure in the world because they just can't consistently score.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. All right, moving on. Jacksonville at Cincinnati. And I know most of you are thinking, these teams have a combined 1 win between them. But I think this is going to be a super interesting game. And Chris thinks it will be insanely exciting. You got Gardner Minshew on one side. You got Joe Burrow on the other side. I think it should be a hell of a lot of fun. Cincinnati -3 is the line. I'm rolling Bengals here. I think they got so close to that win last week. I think they could taste it, right? The Jaguars have already gotten their win. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I hate that they opened up the favorite. I thought this game should be a pick 'em. I love both of these teams. I love both these quarterbacks, let's say that. And I do think this is going to be an exciting game. I think it's going to be a fun game. I don't think either one of these defenses are great. The Bengals offense is pretty putrid, but they are getting there, man. They're getting close. They are so close I can taste it. But for them to open up -3 against the Bengals, I don't know that they should be a 3-point favorite over anybody outside of one of those New York teams.
I mean, maybe you're right.
That scares me. That scares me a little.
I think the Bengals are going to win the game, and if it's a field goal, then I push. So I feel good about it. I think Burrow's going to get his first win this week. I think this is one of those teams that they should be able to match up well with. And yeah, I mean, the Jaguars' defense is not out of this world.
Nope.
And their secondary is not great. I mean, Fitzmagic was able to throw all over him. I think Burrow will be able to do the same thing.
Well, yeah, no, and they're going to throw. I mean, I think they're leading the NFL in pass attempts. I don't know that that's. I'm almost positive that they're leading the NFL in pass attempts.
Yeah,
and I don't think they're letting up. I don't think they're changing their game plan.
Yeah, no, you're right. Bertie said Mitch owns the Lions. That's why. True story. Joseph Gomez said Patriots 5-0 against undefeated teams since 2010. I feel dirty now. We'll get to that game. No worries.
Joseph, we getting there. Getting there.
Bertie said, agreed, Chris. The fact that it should be a pick'em, Jags are the right bet. I'm not betting it. So,
I'm not betting against Joseph. I'm just not doing it.
You're not going to toss the Jags in your round robin?
No, sir, I am not. Not this one. Not this week. I'll give that money up.
All right, here's one that I guarantee will be in your round robin, and that is what was your pick on this one, by the way?
Well, yeah, give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals.
Going Bengals.
I'm laying the points. I don't like it. I'm laying the points.
And you got Bears on the other one, right?
Got Bears on the other one. Are we the same on everything so far?
You had Jets on Thursday night, right?
No. I have the Broncos on Thursday.
Okay, well then in that case,
I didn't make a pick, but I'll have the Broncos on Thursday night.
Broncos on Thursday night. All right. So I'll go ahead and tell you.
I won't even bet fake money on the Jets.
We are going Browns at the Cowboys. Cowboys are a 4.5-point favorite as it sits right now. Cowboys looked okay against Seattle, but here's the deal. Neither one of those teams, Seattle or the Cowboys, have a defense. I mean, that game.
The Cowboys did not look okay, Gary. That's a false statement from somebody who didn't watch the game. They had fumbles. They were sloppy. Zeke Elliott's supposed to be their best player, and he was the worst player on the field the entire time he was on the field.
We talked about that on Monday. Like, here's the deal. They were able to keep it within a score of Seattle, and I think a lot of people, I guess maybe it was talent alone, or was it just offense? I mean, how were they able to keep in that game?
Seattle played just sloppy. Seattle made dumb mistakes.
And I wonder if that's Bertie said, if Chark plays, please rethink this, Gary. Look, it's not one of my official picks as far as the Jaguars go.
Yeah, no, we pick these big games, but that's not a play. We'll give you our plays later.
Yes, we'll give you the plays. Terry said he loves Burrow. He can't bet against him. Yeah, that's true. Bertie said we bet the Browns +3 or +5. Yeah, I think the majority of the spots have the Browns as a 4.5-point dog. There are places.
I haven't seen 5 anywhere. Have you seen 5?
There was a 5 earlier today. Well, a couple of them, but there's a 5 at my bookie right now.
Okay, so, all right. Five's out there.
There's a few, but it pretty much across the board, it's 4.5. Look, I don't care. I'm taking the Browns here. I think this is going to be a close game. I think that the Browns can stay. I think the Browns can win the game. Like, this is 100%. The Cowboys
right now should be 0-3.
Yes, they should. This is my Super Bowl pick.
They have a win gifted to them by the shit-tastic Dan Quinn and the Falcons.
Yeah, I think the Browns are the only way to go. Like, can you bet?
I'm not. Listen, I can't safely think the Cowboys are going to win any game at all. I think the Falcons are one of the worst 4 or 5 teams in the league, and they dominated the Cowboys for 70% of that game.
Yeah. It's insane.
Like complete domination. So no, this Cowboys team plays sloppier than any team in the league. Any team, they look like the Browns from last year. You remember how I said this year I thought the Cardinals were the Browns, they stink like the Browns last year? No, it's the Cowboys.
It was the Cowboys.
All that hype.
Yes.
Change the coach. Nope. New coach. Tank this thing, baby. They're a disaster.
Terry said, love when them boys lose. Don't forget to tell your Cowboys fans Happy Cowboys Day every August 8th for every year's record of 8-8. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if we get 8-8 this year.
Yeah, we may not.
If they do, it'll be because their division is just rough.
Yeah. Joseph Gomez, Cowboy money will roll in eventually, but not sure the line will move, which says a lot. Damian said NFC East is the toilet division. That's 100% true. I don't know that there's a single team in that division that deserves to be in the playoffs. But hey, we still got plenty of time. It's only week 4. Birdie said, let's see, get these games at opening. We got the Bills over 49.5. Now it's 52.5. You got to hit these games early for value. Birdie said they do win at home, though. Yeah, the Cowboys do win at home, and I'm with you. And if I lose this one, then I lose it, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But I do not feel comfortable betting the Cowboys as a favorite of any more than 3, really.
Yeah, at all. Yeah. Anything more than a field goal, I just don't trust them. Not saying they can't do it. I just can't bet it.
If there's a defense in the NFL that I would feel comfortable would make Baker Mayfield look good, I think it's this one.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. I don't know if they're going to make Baker look good. They're just going to make these running backs look great.
Yeah. That's a really massive point. Which in turn,
I saw a stat. I gotta hook up with my buddy from Cleveland, Dave, and we got to have an honest talk about the future of Baker. I heard a stat today from the Ringer Fantasy Show. They said that the Browns have thrown the ball less than every team in the league this year except for the Jets, and that Baker still leads all quarterbacks in interceptions thrown with a clean pocket, which all signs point to that being because he doesn't know how to read defenses. Because if you have a clean pocket, it's not anything other than it's either you're inaccurate, which he's not inaccurate, or he doesn't know how to read the defense, and so he makes mistakes where throwing the football. My question long-term for the Browns is if you know he has these flaws, so now the way they're passing the ball is bootleg out, one read options. So every play call that he throws the football, it's called in the huddle who's getting the ball. There are no drop back, read, find the open guy, hit him. It's you're throwing to number 13. You're throwing to 30. You're throwing to this. You're throwing that. And this is where they're going to be. There is no reading a defense. My question is this. At some point in time in the front office, can you sign him long-term? Because we're getting close to making the decision, year 3, of are you picking up his 5th-year option? Are you giving him a long-term extension? What kind of money? What kind of bet are we getting into with a guy that can't read defenses?
I have to assume that at some point they will move to Case Keenum if that is true, right? There's just no way that you can win.
If you can continue to win, it's fine. My issue is do you move on from him or do you go?
You have to. Because I don't think they can continue to win.
This is not one of those situations where you can learn to read defenses if you haven't been able to figure it out yet. He's just been able to do it with such great talent around him at college in Oklahoma. And then also when he's gotten here, he's had elite talent around him and you can gimmick an offense up for him, but at some point in time, man, you got to be able to pick people. You got to be a surgeon.
Oh, 100%. This is what they've got coming up. They got the Cowboys this week. They host the Colts next week.
That's a tough defense.
They play at the Steelers.
That's a hard defense.
They play at the Bengals the week after that.
That's an easy defense.
And then you've got the Raiders coming to town and the Texans coming to town.
So those are 2 easy defenses there. So he's going to have some opportunities to look good. My issue is even if he looks good, if he's only looking good because they're hiding his flaws, you can't pay a guy that you're hiding those flaws. Right now, he's on a rookie deal. That's amazing. I'll take all the flaws you got. That just comes with the territory. At some point in time, we got to start paying him.
Joseph Gomez said forcing the ball to Odell is a bad sign. Birdie said the game is too fast for him. If he would spend more time watching film instead of doing commercials, he would get better. Emperor of Rome said the Browns without Baker is an easy 10-win playoff team. Birdie said, how good would Cam Newton look in that offense?
Oh my God.
Just ridiculous.
It just made it move.
And Matt said, Baker better save some money from the commercials he's in. And then Emperor of Rome said, imagine Minshew on the Browns. Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different options here. And instead, you got a number one pick that can't read a defense.
They can't read a defense.
It's unbelievable.
That's a problem. And I want to talk to some real hardcore Browns guys and see, are you open to understanding that this is an issue? Or are you just brown covered glasses and until he loses, we don't care? Because that can't be what you have.
I mean, I don't know.
That's how you stay mediocre forever.
Yes,
I know we've talked about the Browns way too long.
That's 100% how you stay mediocre. You're right about that. Let's go ahead and move on. That's you took Browns though, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. New Orleans is a 4-point favorite at Detroit. And, 1-2, not a good look for the Saints. They've lost a game at home. Now, that was to a apparently really good Packers team. They lost on the road to the Las Vegas Raiders, and they won at home against Tampa Bay. So they've played, 3 at least decent teams, right? I think 2 pretty good teams. They beat one, they lost to another, and I don't think the Raiders are pretty good. I think they're okay. So they lost on the road at the Raiders, and now they get to go on the road against a Detroit team that is pretty fired up after getting their first win. They're getting some help back at cornerback. It looks like Matt Stafford is looking good again. Birdie said, we bet New Orleans -4. That's the way that I'm going with this. I'm going with the Saints. I think that Kamara and all those guys realize, hey, we are about to let this thing get away from us. I'm curious about the chemistry on the team. I don't know what to make of it. That something just looks off with this team. I still think they're good enough to win and cover at Detroit, but something's weird about this team. And I don't know if it's because, Drew Brees is getting older, if that's the only thing wrong, or if it's something more than that. Like, I understand Michael Thomas has been out. He should be back this week, apparently. I will see. What are your thoughts here?
I think this Lions team might go on a run.
Okay. So you're
I'm going to
taking
take the Lions and the points. I might be foolish. It might be foolish to think that the Saints are going to go, lose 3 games in a row. Even if they don't lose, they got to cover. I'm not trusting Breeze. I'm just not. He doesn't look – my problem is not his age. He doesn't look good, and their offense doesn't scare anybody. Alvin Kamara put that team on his back, and he did everything for them, and they weren't close to being in that game. They really weren't.
McKinnon said, as much as I appreciate the Saints, even being a Falcons fan, I'm worried about them this year from what I've seen so far. Unfortunately, I think the Lions are starting to figure things out. I think they're going to pull out the W. Yeah.
Well, that defense looked really good against Tom Brady and the Bucs week 1, and that offense just didn't look like it was all together there. And I'm going to tell you, man, ever since they've played everybody other than Tom Brady, that defense hasn't looked good at all. They've gotten gashed by a lot of people. I think they play this Bucs team again. I think this Bucs team beats the hell out of them. This is not just a Drew Brees problem, an offensive problem. This is also that defense isn't stopping anybody either.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Birdie said Brees is not the problem. You can't take 100 yards a game on PIs and win. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's it. Like, I'll say this, like, I still don't think Brees looks good. Like,
no, he doesn't. But he didn't look good in the win against the Bucs.
Yeah, he hadn't looked good all year.
Their defense was unbelievable. He has not played a game where he looked competent at all.
Yeah, it's been
That's
bad.
a problem.
Yeah. No, you're dead on about that. You are dead on about it. All right, let's move into the afternoon slate. So we're not going to talk about Pittsburgh and the Titans. If they end up playing on Monday night, we will talk about it on Monday's show. If they play Tuesday, we'll talk about it on Monday's show. Whatever. We'll figure that out when we get there. But the COVID issues have wiped them out from Sunday. The Titans aren't supposed to be back into their facility until Saturday. So you give them one practice day on Sunday, and then maybe they come back and play Monday. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. But we are going to talk about 2 afternoon games, and then we'll talk about the Sunday night game, even though it looks like it might be a bit of a dud. New England is going to Kansas City, and I know that you are fired up about this. As Joseph jumped out and said earlier, Patriots 5-0, straight up against undefeated teams since 2010. They have a way of handling these. Now, They don't have the same guy that was there for years and years. That whole decade was Tom Brady, but they still got Bill Belichick, and now they got Cam Newton.
They getting a hell of a player back that Cam hadn't really got to play with much, and that's James White.
Yeah. You're right about that.
I'm excited to see James step on this field.
Let me jump into these comments right quick. Damian said, Breeze is getting his karma for opening his mouth during the offseason. Come on, man. Joseph said, there are levels to these NFL. I don't think the Lions are near a second-tier team. Whew, man, that's a strong statement. Birdie said, you're so lucky, Chris. Ha, ha, ha. I don't know what about. I don't remember what we said.
I mean, I feel like you can't have a face like this without being lucky, but yeah, I get
it. Birdie said, we bet New England +7. That's my spot here. I'm taking the Pats +7. I think it's too many points. I think short week for the Chiefs. You're going up against a really good defense in the Pats. Even though they lost so many guys in the offseason, we've been over this time and time again and blah, 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 blah. I think the Pats play a lot off of emotion in particular spots, right? Otherwise, like, they are maybe the most fundamentally sound team in the NFL every single year, and this year's really no different. So
the best way to play defense is to not play defense.
That's true. I think they'll be able to run the football.
They're going to dink and dunk, and they're going to stay in bounds, and they're going to run out of bounds. And they are going to – this Chiefs defense has done a great job against wide receivers. Well, guess what? Now they got to do a great job against running backs because they're going to throw it to Burkhead. They're going to throw it to White. They're going to run the ball. Damian Harris is supposed to be back. They're going to hit them with 7 different running backs and the biggest, baddest running back of them all in Cameron. And it's just going to be matriculate the ball down the field. Bill Belichick is going to run his Naval Academy dream pistol offense. That's all he wants to do is just run the football down people's throats, win the game in an hour and a half, and go home. That's it. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Birdie said you were lucky for not talking Pittsburgh today.
Oh,
he was going to let you have
about
it.
Them boys, they've beaten nobody. This is a long season, brother.
I am on your side with the Pats.
When we get there.
I really think that now don't get me wrong. Like
I think they can win the game. I think they can. I didn't say they will. I think they can win the game.
And I think that 7 is just a touch too much. Birdie said this is a letdown spot for the Chiefs. Yeah, that game against the Ravens meant a lot for them because I think they felt it was a sign of disrespect. One, that they were underdogs in the game. 2, that Lamar won MVP last year. All these different things. Everybody's trying to create this, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes rivalry. And instead, he came out and just completely dominated the ballgame. I don't think you're going to see the same, like the way that you are able to control Patrick Mahomes is you're able to get pressure with 4 down linemen. You don't bring blitzes. That the Pats have not brought blitzes against him. That's when they've been able to win the games against him. So I think the Pats have a game plan to be able to stop him, and it doesn't matter if it's Tom Brady or Cam Newton playing. They find ways to win games like this. I don't know that they're going to win. I think they will keep it within the 7. I think this is a close game. And this is must-see TV, man. Must-see TV.
Yeah. And this is definitely in a round-robin game. It's going to have a really nice money line on it.
Let's talk about Buffalo and Las Vegas. The Raiders. They are a 3-point underdog at home to the Bills. The Bills have opened up undefeated. And I like the Bills. I like the Bills a lot. I don't know that this Raiders team is set up to be able to stop this team. We've said it multiple times already this year, this season, whatever you want to call it. I think Josh Allen is getting to the point where they are able to win games because of him and not just in spite of him, right? The offense has looked good at times. They are explosive enough to be able to pull games out of the hat, right? They lost it, and then they got it back again against the Rams last week at home. I think they survived that game, and now they're going on the road to the Raiders. I think their defense will be able to slow down Josh Jacobs and Carr in that bunch. I think the Bills are set up to be able to beat teams like the Raiders. I think you're going to see a ton of offense here. And that over, where he said it jumped from 49.5 up to 52.5, I think it might go over that. Like, I think you're going to see a lot of points, most of them coming from the Bills. And the fact it's only a 3-point line, Bills still not getting the same amount of respect for a team that is as good as they are, I think. So I'm rolling Bills on this.
Yep, I agree. I'm rolling Bills.
I love it. I love it when we get to that point. It's like, hey, Gary just said everything that I need to say on this. Let's talk about the Sunday night game. And I don't know that we need to spend a whole lot of time on it, but San Francisco, 7-point favorite at home. Even though we don't know if Jimmy G's playing, they're saying that he might, maybe. I don't know. Greg Kittle's going to be back, though. And the Eagles are a complete dumpster fire. And they don't have a lot of guys coming back yet. And I'm just, Damian Estrada, by the way, said Bills win by 16. Joseph Gomez said, rush forward, double-team Kelsey and Hill, then let somebody else beat you. Will Clyde be the difference? Who knows? Maybe. Birdie said, we bet Bills minus 2.5 and the over 49.5. Yeah, you got the opening lines. Yeah. San Francisco, even with Nick Mullins in, it still put up 36 points last week. Basically every running back is out, and they just keep churning dudes out, right? McKinnon might be playing. We'll see. I mean, he's questionable for the game, but even if he doesn't, they still got other dudes. And the way that offense is set up, that zone running, whatever it is that they do, it doesn't matter who's back there. Like, they will be able to put up points, and whether it's Mullins or Garoppolo, it doesn't matter. They're still able to put up points. The biggest question that I've got is, what is the defense going to look like? Because they lost Solomon Thomas. They lost, Solomon Hill. Did I have that right? Do I have that switched in my head? What is that? Nick Bosa and Solomon.
I don't know.
I think it's
Solomon. Now you're asking me things I'm not prepared for.
I can't remember. Joseph Gomez said, Sanders still game time decision, glute hamstring injury. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. I still like San Francisco in this spot. Even missing guys, I think they've got the better coach. I think they've got the better quarterback, regardless of who it is. At 7 points may seem like a lot. I'm still riding 49ers here. This Eagles team is trash, man.
I'm worried that eventually all the injuries are going to catch up. There is a part of me that thinks that Nick Mullins could end up playing this game and outplay Carson Wentz by a lot.
Yeah.
By a whole lot. Look,
I was right. It's Solomon Thomas.
I made a lot of money betting against the Eagles so far. I think I've done it every week. Yeah. I don't think the Eagles have covered a line yet. I'm gonna just keep riding this one till she bucks me.
There we go. Joseph Gomez said yes. Solomon Thomas. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I'm betting against the Eagles until she bucks me. And we'll see. And maybe it's crawling up to 7 so much. Because, it opened at 3.5 and it's all the way up to 7. So I still don't think it's enough. Like, I don't care about the injuries. I don't care about whatever. I think I've got the better coach. I think San Francisco is just the significantly better team, even with a bunch of injuries. So if you gave me San Francisco's second string against the Eagles' second string, I still think that the second string quarterback at San Francisco is playing better than Carson Wentz right now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So let's move into the Monday night game, and then we're going to give our picks out, and we will get out of everybody's hair. The Monday night game is the Green Bay Packers hosting the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to go ahead and let you start us off with this.
I don't think this game is going to be close. I think this is going to be almost unwatchable unless you just load up on a bunch of Packers for daily fantasy and you want to see Aaron Rodgers add to his stats for MVP.
That's where I am.
I don't respect this Falcons team at all. I just don't.
Neither do I. McKinnon jumped in. Watch Atlanta beat Green Bay Monday night. It seems like every time Dan is on the hot seat, he pulls some BS win against a considerably better team. Birdie took the Falcons at plus 7.5, and that is one of his official bets. Let's see. Damian said Peterson is one game from losing his job. Peterson, who?
I don't think that. Doug Peterson. I don't think that. He just won a
he's
Super
back
Bowl.
to the Eagles. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
he just won a Super Bowl. That's not happening.
Nope, that's not happening. They'll remove Carson Wentz before they do that. So they'll give him a shot with Jalen Hurts or whoever, and then they'll try and figure out something else. Especially because they've got so many injuries, they'll just blame it on the injuries. But as far as the Falcons Green Bay go, I think at some point there's only so many of those rabbits that you can pull out of a hat, like McKinnon's talking about, where you beat some considerably. Because last year it was the game against the Saints, right, where they just destroy the Saints 27-9 in New Orleans. I don't see that happening in week 4 this year. I think at some point this team is just done. Like, I think they're just done with this coach. I think they just don't look excited to be playing. They have got so many offensive weapons. And they look like they have pieces on defense. They look like they do. And that unit is so non-cohesive whatsoever. Birdie likes them plus the 7.5. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to carve this team up. This is the revenge tour for Aaron Rodgers. Where we talked about last year, where it wasn't a whole lot of throwing the football, et cetera, they have completely switched this around. LaFleur he and Aaron Rodgers sat down before the season. So I heard him talking on McAfee about this, and they threw out all the plays that neither one of them liked, and they sat down, and they just had a powwow with just those two. And they said, all right, here are the plays that I really like, and they got super creative with some stuff. And Aaron Rodgers is now at the point where he is creating receivers. We thought that they had no skill talent, aside from Adams. They got a lot there. They got guys that can run deep. They got guys that are fast. And you never saw it last year because they tried to run the football all the time, et cetera. And Aaron Jones is an absolute stud at the running back position. I am all over Green Bay in this game. I love them at the -7. And actually, most spots you can still get them at -7. So Heritage, Bookmaker, GT Bets, Intertops,
it's
Wager
still
Web,
7.
etc.
It's still 7 in a lot of places.
Now there's some 7.5. I don't think the 7.5 will be close. I really like the Packers to win this by double digits. I don't think it's a close ball game. Maybe I'm wrong.
Completely agree. Yep, completely agree.
Young Ganji jumps in. Oh yeah, Gary's on the spot. Rodgers kills these guys. Play the first half. And that might be the smarter play, because I think they might kill them early. But even still, that's still only like a touchdown.
They're not taking their foot off the gas. Is the NFL, man.
Let's see. Birdie said they've had 20 point leads their last 2 games. We get caught up in the result. Don't look at the whole. Green Bay won a very big game against New Orleans. They will look by the Falcons in this spot, in my opinion. Hey, maybe you're right. I've been wrong a lot in these spots, but man, I love the Packers here. I am rolling with them, and you ain't talking me off of this one, Birdie. I know you should have talked me off of the Raiders or the Ravens win last week, but you ain't talking me off the Packers. I'm all in on this on Monday night. All right. With that said, Chris, you ready to give out some picks? All right, let's do this thing. Our official wagers for the week. I will start us off. We each give out 5 every single week. These are the games that we have our money on. And some of them are games that we've talked about, and some of them are not. Chris, I am taking the Dolphins +7 at home against the Seahawks. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick and that offense will be able to put up points on the Seahawks defense. Seahawks are traveling all the way from up there where everything is burning, all the way down to Miami. It's a long plane flight. The Seahawks have had some crazy close games and whatnot. And yes, they typically win these games on the East Coast, and they typically cover. But I do think because this is 7, I really like the Dolphins to be able to handle this spot and at least keep it within that touchdown. If this gets up to 7.5, you better believe I'm all on top of that. But I have already bet it at +7, and I like the Dolphins here. What's your first pick?
Tampa Bay has the Chargers coming into town, and I think this Tampa Bay defense, Todd Bowles, is going to be ready for Justin Herbert and the Chargers offense. Rookie quarterbacks are not coming in there against this tough defensive front and going to give them any problems. Tom Brady is going to make plays. He's going to throw the football all over the place. Him and Mike Evans are hooking up like right and left. Scotty Miller, the running backs are getting the running game going. But this is going to be on the Tampa Bay defense to shut down the rookie quarterback for the Chargers. I'm laying the 7. Give me Tampa Bay -7.
I can understand that. Tampa Bay, by the way, number 2 in the NFL so far this season in defensive DVOA.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, definitely pretty good. That's right behind the Colts and right above the Steelers. So, pick number 2 for me. I am going to 2 teams that we thought might be pretty good, and instead both are dreadful. There is no world in which the Texans should be a 4.5-point favorite over the Vikings, regardless of what else is going on the planet, right? So I understand the Vikings and the Titans played last week. The Vikings are having to miss a couple of days of practice or whatever because of the COVID situation with Tennessee and blah, 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 whatever, right? I think the Vikings come out with their hair on fire in this game. I don't know that they win. I think they absolutely could. but 4.5 is just too many damn points. I'm going to take Dalvin Cook to be able to run on that Texans defense because that Texans defense cannot stop the run. I mean, we've seen it basically every game so far. I think the Vikings are going to score, and I think they're going to score a lot, and it's up to Deshaun Watson to be able to win the game, but I don't think he can win it by more than 4. So that's where I'm rolling. I'm taking the Vikings plus 4.5.
So there are a lot of weird statistics out there in the NFL that say if you ever have a double-digit dog, just take the dog. Listen, there was a day and a time where that was probably true, but today is not those days. The New York Football Giants are heading down to Los Angeles, and the Rams and Aaron Donald are going to destroy them. This line is 12. It's a big number in the NFL. It's a big number in the NFL. If you're used to playing college ball, 12 points doesn't seem like a big deal. In the NFL, you don't get 12-point head starts to anybody. It's not going to matter. This Rams team is running the football down people's throat. Aaron Donald is wrecking the offensive line of other teams. This is a bad offensive line. This is a bad football team, okay? Last week, Daniel Jones was the number 1 running back rusher for the Giants with like 9 yards. I mean, it's something ridiculous, okay? They're going to get smashed. They're going to get destroyed. They don't have a prayer in this team. They're a bad football team. Bet the Rams lay all the points.
I like that. That's good. That's good. All right. I talked about it earlier. I'm going to talk about it again. This is pick number 3 for me. The Eagles heading to the 49ers. I don't care who's playing quarterback. I don't care who's playing running back. The 49ers have plenty of weapons. They got Kittle back. I understand they got some guys out on defense. Defense has looked fine. The Eagles are a trash fire. It's one of the guys on CNN last night, Birdie, said, "Great show, man. Thank you for all the interaction. Have a profitable week." Gary, if I'm right about the Falcons, you have to wear a Jags hat next week. Hey, you send me a Jags hat, I will 100% wear that joker. 100%. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. As far as the pick goes, I don't care who they got. I think the 49ers are a much better organization, and I think that the organization will beat the Eagles by more than 7. I think this is a much better football team. I think they are getting to come home for the first time in 3 weeks because they get to play at the Jets and at the Giants. I understand there's 2 bad football teams. I get it, right? But they destroyed both of them. I think they will destroy this bad Eagles team as well. Give me the 49ers minus the 7 at home. I don't care who's playing. I just know that the 49ers are better.
My third pick going to Kansas City and taking my Patriots. I think they got a really good shot to win this football game. Bill Belichick is going to be more prepared for this game than anybody we've ever seen. This is going to be a more different game than the Chiefs defense has had a game plan for than they're used to. Okay. The defense for the Chiefs has actually been really impressive, but they're playing very conventional teams. This is not a conventional football team the way they're running the offense. They get James White back. Him showing up today in that locker room, I'm certain just brought an energy that those guys were just really feeling, and they're going to be ready to play come Sunday. I think they got a really good shot to walk out of there with a win. Okay. I don't think anybody goes undefeated in the NFL. This is a proper spot for the Chiefs to fall, and I get a 7-point head start. I'm taking it.
I am with you. That's not going to be one of my official plays, mainly because I wanted you to have it, and I wanted to have some different options, but I will have money on the Pats. So, well, I take that back. I've already got money on the Pats, but either way, official play here, Browns plus 4.5 at the Cowboys. The Cowboys should not be a 4.5-point favorite over any team that has any kind of a pulse on offense. The running game for the Browns has been unbelievable thus far. It has absolutely saved Baker Mayfield.
Best in the league.
All Mayfield has to do really is play action. You got one guy on a post route, easy to do, right? I think they're going to be able to do that all day against Dallas. Dallas has got major problems on defense. And I understand that their offense is pretty good, but I also think that the Browns' defense is pretty good. Pretty good defense. So
Myles Garrett's going to have something to say about it.
Yes, he most certainly will. And those corners and everything else, like the linebackers are pretty good. I think this Browns team is pretty good. I think they can win the game. 4.5 points, way too many here. Give me the Cleveland Browns. What's your fourth?
I love it. That's one of my picks as well. Cleveland Browns plus 4.5. Go ahead and give you that, and I'll give you my last pick. Monday Night Football. Take a pissed off Aaron Rodgers against a dead ass horse and Dan Quinn. This is not going to be close, guys.
And that's exactly what my last pick is. I love the Packers in the spot. I think Aaron Rodgers is still mad. I think he is still irritated. I think he wants to beat everybody by 1,000 if he can. And now he gets to do it at home against a team that cannot stop the pass. Yeah. If everybody in his organization and everywhere else was questioning whether or not he can still throw the football, he has shown you multiple times already this year, and he's going to keep doing it. He's going to keep throwing the football. Like, the guy is talented as hell, man.
We had Patrick Mahomes just go on Monday Night Football because nobody was talking about him for MVP. Okay. He was getting left out of the conversation. You know who's been left out of the conversation the last couple of weeks? Aaron. And Aaron now has Monday Night Football all to himself against a trash-ass defense.
Yes.
And he is going to make them look bad. He is going to shine. And when Monday's over with, we're going to now talk about our fourth quarterback in the MVP race. And everybody's going to say, maybe he's the best player in football still. And that it's just, this conversation is going to continue to go. These guys are just one-upping each other every week. There are enough bad defenses floating around out there for one of them to face off against one and just look pretty good.
Yeah. And I think Aaron Rodgers will be doing that for sure. Young Ganji jumped in. Look who the Browns have played. Cowboys' strength of schedule way better than the Browns. Agreed. That doesn't
the Falcons?
No, I think he's talking about the Browns and the Cowboys. So,
well, yeah, okay. The Cowboys have played the Falcons. That's a really bad team.
They played the Seahawks.
They played the Rams, who are a pretty good team.
Yeah, Seahawks and Rams
Seattle,
are good.
Who's a good team.
Browns played what? The Bengals.
We played the Bengals, the Ravens, and now last week was Washington.
Yeah. So, and I understand they beat up on Washington. They beat up they didn't beat up on, but they beat the Bengals. They did not look good against the Ravens. There's not a lot of teams that will this year. I understand the Chiefs did, but look, I don't hold week one against them. I think that the Browns have gotten better as the season's gone along, and I hope that that's what every team strives to do.
The Cowboys look like misfits. They're dropping the football all over the place. They've got to lead the NFL in fumbles after just the last 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, Darren McCardle said, "Don't bet on the Jets or the Browns. That's the number one rule in football betting." Maybe.
I think those days are over for Cleveland.
Maybe so. Young Ganji tossed in the Cowboys and Washington. Can't bet on them either. So, but that's the thing. If you can't bet on the Browns or the Cowboys, who you bet on in this matchup? I'm gonna take the Browns, especially at more than a field goal. So, with that said, I think that is everything that we need to hit for today. Chris, is there anything else we need to tackle?
I think that's it, brother.
All right, you guys know what to do. Head over to winningcureseverything.com. Make sure you got everything you need from us over there. I promise you will find it there. Joseph Gomez said, I'm taking the over. Hey, you do what you need to do, and that's probably the smart way to go about it. Probably the smart way to go about it for the Browns and the Cowboys and the Falcons and the Packers. Whatever the number is, just toss it up there. Do that thing. Abigail Shook said, watch your show every day. Love it. Hey,
thank you.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you. If you guys would do us a favor, like the video, share it out, tell your friends about it, all that good stuff, and make sure you are subscribed. Of course, we try and have a good time with this thing, and we appreciate everybody that comes in and helps this chat every single day. You guys help drive the conversation. You toss in some witty one-liners here and there, and we appreciate you guys for doing it. Go over to sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. That's where our college football content can be found. And the Sportsbook Review YouTube page. We are live every Tuesday and Saturday over there discussing college football. We will be doing the same thing again on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you go and check that out. Make sure you are subscribed over there as well. Chris, if there is nothing else, I believe it is time for us to hit the road. So with that said, you guys take care of yourself, take care of each other, and we will see you next time. Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at Gary WCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice review, and make sure to comment and tweet